So glad we could spend this time here on Tuesday. And today I'd like to just take a moment to encourage you from 2 Corinthians chapter 7. Here the Apostle Paul is just opening his heart. In fact, many people call 2 Corinthians the heart of Paul. He's having to share with them the reality and genuineness of his ministry so that they could understand some of the attack that was coming in, trying to undermine him, because he wanted them to not lose the truth. He didn't want them to get sidetracked. He wanted them to keep on going. And he shares with them how encouraged he was at their response to a letter that we don't have as scripture. It would have been between 1st and 2nd Corinthians. And this letter was a very direct letter dealing with some of the issues in the church. And many responded. And he relates his feelings here in verse 4 of chapter 7. Great is my boldness of speech toward you. Great is my glorying of you. I am filled with comfort. I am exceeding joyful in all our tribulation. Now, isn't that interesting? He's going to go on and talk about the tribulation they were going through. But what kept him going was the fact that they were growing in the Lord. Many of them were responding to truth. Many of them had overcome wrong thinking. The Spirit of God had clarified the reality of the spiritual nature of the situation that was there in the church. And so he says, my glorying is of you. I'm so thankful for how God has worked. I have confidence of speech about you. I'm really thrilled at what the Lord is doing. In fact, in the midst of everything, I'm filled with comfort and I have exceeding joy. I give that background because one of the things that I find that encourages me, and I trust it will you also, and that is that in the midst of whatever pressures we're in, when we are seeing God work in other lives because of our ministry to them, that's a great joy, because that's what life is all about. You see, if we're only thinking about our finances being okay, or our job being secure, or the nation being okay, or maybe even the church being secure, we're going to miss the whole point. The life that God has given us is all about investment in other people's lives. And so when we're discipling and seeing people saved and teaching and just mentoring and working in people's lives, and we see them get it, they take a step of growth, they're rejoicing in the Lord, well, that's a great comfort. In fact, in the midst of whatever tribulation you'll find yourself in, there will be exceeding joy, as this passage states. Selfishness brings fear. Selflessness and investment in others, folks, is where the confidence and the comfort and the joy is. May we never forget that. And let's ask God even today to give us an opportunity to invest in the life of someone else.